Anybody there? Hello, hello. Hi Heather, thanks for coming. Got my little friend here today. Here. Hello Annaline. Hello Christine. Hello Dorothy. Hello Alison. Oh dear, eyebrows. Hello Judith. Fairly well prepared today. Hi Gillian. I've got my iPad the right way round. Ah, thanks Heather. You're welcome. Scott, all the way from Australia, from down under. Hello Scott. Yeah, I'm ready today, look. I've got my specs. Hello Evelyn, how are you? Got fresh water. Got some paper. Ooh, yes, I think I've got some more paper over there. Hello Sheila, hi. Shane, hello, how are you? Have you been decorating any more pies recently? Wave to the nice people. I think I might just put her down in a minute and start painting. Very, very good girl. Came on a very big walk last night. Hello Darren. Hello Linda. Hello Lucinda, how are you? It's a bit of a quieter day outside, quite cool. Hi Melanie, how are you? Mel. Hello Fiona. Oh, the paintings that you put on Instagram are really, really nice. I liked the flowers that you did that just had the sort of, just the paint and the translucent. I don't think you need to kind of go around edges. I know design-wise, it's a really good solution, but like from a purist watercolour point of view, I just loved the first ones that you put up. I'm good. Hello Debbie Hutchinson Cartmel. Hello Emily Davidson Equestrian. Jules! I can begin now you've arrived. Right, we'll just say bye-bye. Put her down. Right. Hello Sarah. I'm fine, happy to be back at my desk after days of sewing. If anybody knows someone who really knows stuff about sewing machine, could you message me? Because my sewing machine, which was serviced not that long ago, just isn't really working, and I think it's more like user error than anything else. Oh, hi Rory, how are you? I feel Jules could be a favourite. Jules is everybody's favourite, let's face it. We all want to go first into the show jumping ring, so it's a good idea to stay on the right side of her. Oi, hello Julie. Right, so I have some things here that we have begun. So the black parrot tulips, I've done a little bit more. I've started a new bud up here. And I have my models in front of me. I'll do a little bit more to that. And maybe do another one so you can see how I did that. The pheasant that was started the day before yesterday. Yes, I have seen the time. This is the pheasant we started the day before yesterday, and it needs some defining features putting on it. I have tidied up the eye a bit, and then I sort of think I've finished the sheep one. And you know, I was thinking about the sunset the night before last, not the sun, yeah, not the sunset, but the colour over Ridsdale, which was really, really pink. So I just kind of added some bits of the setting sun reflecting over Ridsdale, and then flashed some pink through the sky, and sort of finished the sheep. Fraser Manners, how are you? Oh, hi, Emma. Emma, thank you very much for going to walk for me yesterday. I appreciate that. Hi, Angus. No rudeness from you today. I'm watching you, Angus. I know what you're like. Hello, Margaret. Look at Love the Colours and Sarah Stoddart. Right. So I think, first of all, hang on to your hats. I'm going to tip you up and we're going to have a little go at finishing this. And the other thing I am going to do is watch my own video so that I can see what you are saying about me. Right. Sound is fab. Give us a tune. What would you like? No, I won't give you a tune. Right, so using my meat hooks and elastic band. Oh, I got another idea, yeah. We'll do that as well. That's not too bad, is it? So, oh, glasses. So I'm going to add some of this fuchsia pink onto the black parrot tulip. Oops. I'm using my. It's not actually French. It's not actually alizarin crimson. It's what's it called? This colour. It starts with a Q, and I can't actually pronounce it, so I won't try. Tiny bit more blue. Daff is watching. Maria McNamara! Hello Maria, how are you? Maria is an amazing lady from Galway, where I go now and again. And she is a superb equestrian lady. And anybody who follows like horsey type Facebook pages will have seen her competing and riding side saddle with the whole habit and the veil, looking pretty much like a goddess. And she and her family are called horsesinireland.com, and it would be a very good place to go and buy a quality horse from. I went there last year. Fifey and I went to Ireland. We've got some absolutely lovely friends who have a holiday house in Donegal, right over on the west, in a place called Gortahawk, which is literally the arse end of absolutely nowhere. But we went there and stayed for a few days and had a most gorgeous time. And then we went down to Galway and stayed in a friend's house, which we were so lucky to do. And we went to see Maria and her dad, and sister and brother Joe, of course. Hello Isabel, hello everyone else. And Maria was so kind, she showed me round all the horses, and there was one horse that had a natural marking on its rump that was the shape of a shamrock, and that was quite funny. They call that horse Shamrock. And when we went to visit this yard in Galway, a place called I can't remember, it's anyway, there were flags everywhere flapping in the yard, up on poles, and Maria explained that one of the horses was a bit nervous about flapping things and flags, so she'd put flags everywhere to get the horse completely used to it. She probably ought to get her horses used to the sound of clapping as well, because they tend to win at shows like Dublin Horse of the Year, Dublin Horse Show and stuff like that. Again, it's like the other day, those colours together are quite amazing. Shall I do that? I think I might maybe do another bud here. I'll turn the vase around a bit so I get a slightly different angle there, and I'll show you how I did that. So again, you know that I use these brushes. Where are we? Can you see me? Can't actually. Yeah, there. I use these, I think they're called one-stroke brushes. Really like them and use them a lot. And I cleaned out all of my mixing palettes, especially for you, and failed. Oh no, that might be the right colour. I was going to say, and I failed to leave. No, that should work. The colour. I'm going to have to tip it a little bit to the side because it just doesn't look right. Sorry folks, I'll just be a moment. Right. Again, this isn't necessarily a painting, it's more showing. Can you see okay? Jason Skill is watching. Claire North Lewis and Linda Vine, how lovely to see you all. So I'm looking at this bud and just sort of hinting at how the leaves do this amazing thing, like a bit like that. Not the leaves, the outer sort of petals that will open up like that, and they're like fingers on these parrot tulips. They're quite gorgeous. It'll make a bit more sense when I get a bit further on. Fifey's out today. He's doing some bits of gardening work, mostly looking after lawns for. He's got a couple of slightly older customers who understandably don't want to do all the heavy stuff anymore, and so he does the mowing, which is rather nice. I just hope he's not using up all his energy and saving some for our garden. Okay, so this parrot tulip's got a blue running right through it. It'll make a bit more sense when it's dried and I can get the next sort of phase, the pink bits. Yes, so you might have noticed we now have moved away from eating cattle potatoes and not much else, because he went to Tesco's yesterday for the first time in about 6 weeks. Fifey does the shopping in our household, and he had to, I can't remember what it was, he had to drop something off for someone in Hexham, and So he went to Tesco's and he really was scared. He's really takes the whole thing very, very seriously. The whole sort of social distancing and everything. But he came back, he was like hunter-gatherer. Hello, Lindsay Rutherford. Clever with the gaps. Yeah, he came back with about 6 bags of shopping, which included sweets and chocolate. And I've said to him, if you want to buy sweets and chocolate, that's fine, but hide them before you bring them into the house, because, you know, once I know they're there, I know I can't unknow it. And I know there's a box full of Twixes in the kitchen, and I'm trying to unknow it. And there's also some of those Whisper Golds, which are really, really nice. A Whisper Gold, for those of you who don't know, is a bit like an Aero with a sort of caramel over the top, which is blooming lovely. I would let that dry and then come back to it for the next little bit. Now then, probably wondering what's going on here, but I did prepare this because I know that they are really, really common, and you know, people think they're disgusting, and we were told not to touch them because they make you wet the bed and everything, but dandelions are just lovely. So I sort of prepared this little dot of 2 little dots of yellow, and I'm going to be looking at that and trying to paint the daffodils. This is the first time this year, so I'll need quite a small brush. Feel free to ask questions. Enjoy listening to you ramble on while I paint. Ramble on. See, that's made me go quiet. I'm using neat yellow. Ooh, what is it called? It's the Ludlow yellow, Windsor yellow, I guess. Marianne Ray sent me a picture of her son yesterday. Feeding a hamburger to a fox. How about that? In London. Pretty impressive. Just turn it round. Quite a sad day today because my next door neighbour, where I've been lambing for the, for the best part of April, she is away to her father's funeral. Just sent her a little message. And it's quite sad, these funerals, because there's not going to be any get together afterwards, and it's like you think, oh, we'll do something after, but sometimes these things just go, don't they? You don't do it. So really, really, really simple flower, very, very cute, I think. It's a bit like the knapweed, isn't it, that we did the other day? Same sort of idea. Um, hmm. Right, gonna do the bit, don't know what you call it, the bit that the dandelion comes out of, the green thingy. Maybe get some sap green, mix that into my little, you'll have noticed, what's Dorothy up to? You'll have noticed that I have this sort of white Corex board and I do a lot of mixing just directly onto it, and that really works well for me. And then I test my colour just on a scrap of paper like that. Okay, so this one here is sort of that one. Then there's a really cute little thing goes on down here. This is really very, very small. I should have you a lot closer. You wait, I've ordered something which you're just going to love. And that is a bendy tablet holder. And then we'll be laughing. So you see, sort of, where is it? It's a lovely thing, just, I mean, I wouldn't call myself a botanical artist by any means, but I did actually get offered something by the chair of the Edinburgh Botanical Society. He came here and bought a painting, and he was wanting me to do something there years and years ago. It didn't quite follow through, I'm not quite sure why, but it's quite nice. It's not like my, what's the word? It's not my main thing. My main thing, I love, movement, animals and vigour. But it's pretty nice, at this time of year to be able to just do simple little things like this, and you don't need a fancy garden. You could go, you can find this sort of thing just on the roadside. When I went out for my walk last night, there were some really lovely big dandelions around the back of the Bay Horse Inn, the pub. But that was on my way out, not on my way home, and I just didn't want to be bothered. To carry them in case I wet the bed last night. Actually, that's just a joke. See, got another one coming on there. You are a natural, very relaxed. Thank you, Linda Vine. Hello, Wendy. Maria. Not all foxes in London are vegan. Did you do the yellow blobs when the paper was wet? Jane, I'll show you how I did them. The yellow blobs were done like this. Just get a bit of slightly wet brush, okay? Really, really clean brush. Some of my paint. That's it, literally. Okay? In fact, that's nicer because you've got those tiny, tiny little white dots that I was telling you about before. So that could be another dandelion there. Now then, where's that little brush gone? And what colour is the stalk? Okay. Now then, I can't leave these lovely bluebells without quickly painting them yet again. I do apologise. Actually, I've got a few here. I'm not going to apologise because they're just so lovely. It'd be a shame not to, but I will have to mix a bit of paint. Right, so I've got my French Ultramarine, which is my favourite blue. As those of you know, I really just have the sort of 5 colours, and then a touch of the thing that starts with a Q that Heather mentioned further up. Can you see all right? My big painting that I showed you the other day it's getting there. It's quite advanced. Spent quite a lot of time on it yesterday and again this morning. Can you see it over there? No. I'll have to have an exhibition of all these teeny weeny little paintings that I've been doing during lockdown. Crikey, that was quick. Royal Mail have done a very good job. I've just got a message there from somebody who ordered some of my sketchbooks for her 2 daughters. It's actually Jane who works for me. She's normally here. I'm looking for a brush. It was here before. Oh, we've got to do that pheasant. Do the stalk, and actually they should be blue really. I'll probably do a little bit more to them, but the yellow and the blue is quite nice together. I think I might just leave that for now. And oh yes, I was going to do something really basic. And I am going to. I'm going to get some paper because I know every day we've got somebody coming for the first time. Okay. And I've got in front of me, so very, I'm just going to unhook so that we can talk. My package came really quickly too, thanks. Enrique, how are you? Look at the time, I know. Are you able to see the little faces and the thumbs up? No, but I go back and look at them. Right. Case. Oh no, there we are. Right, sorry about that. Yeah, so I've got an apple and an orange and a lemon, because to learn basic watercolour techniques or any painting or drawing, it's a really good idea to have something that sits still and that you can just look at and squint your eyes and maybe just see the very basic, just like divide something into 2. Now, the thing about the light in here is it's absolutely brilliant for me for painting. I've got light from the south, from the north, from the east and from the west, and that creates a flat light. It doesn't create the sort of interesting shadows that you would get on one of those beautiful old Dutch still life paintings. So it's not like the best place to do a still life, because you just don't have that really like dark shadows that make it work very nicely. I'm trying to see if you can see, even if I hold that there, right, you can see that the lightest part is here in the middle, and then you've got a sort of dark shadow here, and then a really dark shadow here. These are the things that I would suggest you look at if you're wanting to do painting and you're thinking, I'm a little bit scared, I'm not sure. Well, how about, I'll have to tip you down again, but I'm going to do like a quick orange, lemon, maybe apple, and just show you how you can do simple shape, and then just look at just as I say, divide it into two, squint your eyes, the lighter bit and the darker bit, and don't worry about anything else. I'm going to hook you back up. Okay. And you can't see, obviously, what I can see, but so for the lemon that I'm looking at, Naughty Dorothy. And as I say, I'm just like squinting my eye almost. And from where I'm sitting, I've got a dark bit here. And that is really simple lemon. You can do this as well. And the orange is obviously pretty much the same, but a bit rounder. Not the best colour, but... and a bit bigger. Oh, that's not the best orange colour. And I'll probably turn my brush... no, I'll do the brush turning sideways thing. Let's get a lot of water, paint, sorry, on my brush, squinting my eyes as I go. And so that's like my first wash. And then I'm just looking at where the dark is. There's no point me putting like the bit that's the bottom of the orange on now while it's so wet. But that's where the dark bits are. See? And the light from above, these bits here. The apple. And it's a Pink Lady, my favourite. So it's got a bit of green in the top here, and the rest of it is red. And it's sort of fairly longish, doesn't matter about these little dots. So I'm looking at it now, and again, just slightly, not getting hung up on any detail, but I can see on this apple that I'm looking at, all the dark is there. That's where the dark bits are, and also here where it's sitting. And then the bit where the stalk comes out of, I'm just going to get some very dark paint. So you see, and And actually there should be some white here. So these are great exercises to try. Big brush, lots of colour, and just put like anything, simple objects like oranges and apples and lemons. You will learn so much from just doing that. And I might say, looking at the reflection there, it doesn't look too bad. Right, so I'll put that to one side and we will do the fun bit look at the time, to this pheasant, to define it. Now a pheasant, I'm just going to try, I don't want to make a pig's ear of it, and I'm hoping that this brush, which has a point and also a slant at the end, I'm hoping this one might be the right one for the job, because a pheasant has a black finish on every single feather. It goes like this. Okay. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit and to go on such a small painting. I just want to hint at it. So I'm just going to practice and see if I do you know what? I think that'll work. I'm holding my breath. That's what I often do when I do sort of detailed stuff. Ridiculous. I hope you can see. No, but can hear. You should have an exhibition and we'll all come by. My package came really quickly. Charlotte's watching. Hello, Charlotte. Charlotte, you're late. Henry, very happy with this jigsaw. Hurrah. For Dalma, hello. I was just talking about when I was in Ireland last year in your gorgeous holiday house. It was so nice, swimming in the lake and then the sea every day. And sometimes several times a day. Can you hear Dorothy's little annoying footsteps? Oh, this isn't very interesting. Right, there. So I think that looks quite pheasanty now. Did you use the blue for the lemon yellow What? I did just what was here. Did I use blue for the lemon yellow shadow? I just used more yellow. I just quickly go back to this. Can you see how there's like a dry line and a still wet line, and you get this funny sort of tide mark here? There's probably a name for that, and it probably comes under the heading things to avoid when painting with watercolour. I love it. Anyway, there's my pheasant. Should we give it some legs? Before I go and leave you to get on and do your own painting today. I'm trying to work out of all of this mess what colour to do the legs. Oh, there's something else I need to do to it to make it like a pheasant. I've remembered, just quickly. As well as these markings here, they also have markings on the tail feathers. And again, I'm just using the shape of the brush to do it, which is quite fun. And put them on the one underneath. And I think that's worked out quite nicely. I'm going to unhook you. Oh, hello Alison, how's the baby? How's the baba? hairy bramble at the top of the fruit arrangement. What do you mean, the hairy bramble? I know, I've been to see Les Parents. You have got much more covered in your clothing. Do you mean me? Yes, because I didn't like you looking down my front. Hi Vicky, I'm late, I went shopping, da-dee-da. Right, well, it's been an absolute delight. We've had quite a bit of fun. We can go back to this tomorrow and sort of flesh it out a bit. And I am open to suggestions as well if you want to send me a message. And have a lovely day. It's a lot cooler, but I think I'll still go for a swim in the river. And thank you for swinging by.